Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to you. My name is Nick. I hope you're well. I hope you've had a good week. If you've had a testing week, then hopefully the videos have cheered you up a little bit, because that's the aim, especially on the live streams, which we did one on Tuesday, so hopefully you managed it into there. Trying to do them every week. Sometimes it gets a bit tricky, but last week was okay. Fingers crossed, next week we should be okay as well. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. It helps me a great deal. I know a lot of you have done. I've got a great community here now developing over the months and years as well. But always good to see new members as well getting involved and chatting. Dodgy gameplay and nonsense chat. That's what it's all about. So what's been happening this week? Well, I have a look at the few news items as well that sometimes catch my eye. I tweeted this, it's either last week or the week before, it might have been just about last week. Because of lockdown, you've probably heard of it, pubs have been closed for quite some time. Obviously they're losing revenue. Some have been furloughed by the government in the UK. I'm sure there's similar situations happening abroad as well, where you are if you're not based in the UK, whether it's Australia, Holland, USA or wherever. And some pubs have tried now charging, to try and recoup losses, £7 for a pint. So okay, that's pounds sterling, UK money. So £7 for a pint. That's probably as much as a meal. Just to get that into some sort of relevance, you want to compare it. You could probably get 14 cans of beer at the supermarket for about, I don't know, £10–12. Which is probably a lot more in volume. Well, it is £7 a pint. I mean, if it had been like that when I was a student, I would have been teetotal forever. So what do you think about that? Now, I live in the southeast of England, which is probably pretty expensive. There, so it might be cheaper where you are. It might not to be that extent. I remember just a few years ago, I balked at the site of well, there's a hotel near where I am. Called the Railway Tavern, I think, in Southend, and that was at £4 a pint, but that's seeming dirt cheap now. £7! I could probably eat for a few days on that, but there we go. Is it the going rate? Is that what they should do? Is it fair to say if people are prepared to pay that, they can charge it anyway? But are they just shooting themselves in the foot? Now, I don't know how many pubs have gone to the wall recently, so maybe pubs are having to do that to try and survive. So I'm not quick to judge, but it does seem like a lot of money of what is essentially a pint of alcohol. I don't know how much a pint of oil to put in your car is, or petrol, probably, well, cheaper now. So maybe they should invent, yeah, I don't know. Maybe you should drink petrol. Citation needed, don't do that. That was just a joke. Okay, so fair enough. Let me know what you think about that. Just to do a quick summary of the games covered on the channel, because I always like to have a look back there. You might have seen all the videos, you might have seen some of them, you might have missed them, or there might be an important one that you've missed and don't know about, and you just find about it now. So last Saturday, there's two ZX Spectrum games. Freddy Hardest in South Manhattan. Now, I hated this game. I hate to say it. The graphics look good, but you're just surrounded by far too many people to make it enjoyable. It was a 2D scroller and the sequel to Freddy Hardest, which is a bit of an unusual game. Freddy Hardest, you crash landed on an alien planet and had to beat aliens to get to to finish the game. Here, you're just in Manhattan, although I think initially it was Montevideo in Uruguay, but they changed it for marketing reasons. But it's just not fun. You're kicking and punching. It's a bit laborious, it's a bit grinding. Apologies if you like it. That's alright if you like it. It's all about different point of views and nostalgia as well. And we covered another fighting game also, which was an arcade conversion. It was Shaolin's Road. I've heard that the arcade game was pretty good. Spectrum conversion isn't so bad, to be honest with you, but maybe I'm comparing it just to Freddy Hardest in Manhattan. I think it was called Kicker, maybe, rather than Shaolin's Road in some places. But you got to defeat... We've got to escape a temple really by kicking all people on the individual screens and advancing forward. There's not much to it. My eyes took a bit of a battering on stage 2, where I think the black colour characters against the black background was causing me a little bit of bother. But it's fun. It's got some good elements to it as well. So I preferred that one to Freddy Hardest in South Manhattan. On the Sunday, because we always look at one Amiga game a week. Quite often we might look at a bad Amiga game, because there was a lot of bad Amiga games. This time we looked at a good one, in my opinion. It was Panzer Kick Boxing, a game I had Well, I played quite a lot as a kid back in the day, but I've lost a few of my skills. But I wasn't too bad at the game from what I remember. Great animation in this game, great sound as well, comical referee, and you must battle with different opponents, build up your skills, train in the gym in order to eventually beat the champion called A Panzer, who's a right tough cookie. And it's real good graphics showing you how much strength you've got left, indicated by 4 lights either side of the stage. So that's well worth tracking down. Panzer Kickboxing. I think a version come out on the Mega Drive as well, just called maybe The Kickboxer or Kickboxing. So I'll have to track that one down as well to see how the two compare. On the Mega Drive, we looked at another classic game, or Genesis if you will, called Virtua Racing. I believe this is from the arcade. I'm told there's a slightly better version on the 32X, is that what it's called, Sega, so we might have a look at that in the future, although I haven't covered any for that system as of yet. So there's Virtua Racing, a Grand Prix game, which is pretty good. It's pretty fast. It's polygon racing, and you do need to keep your wits about you in that one. Initially in the game I preferred Formula 1 Grand Prix, also on the Mega Drive, but as the more I played this Virtua Racing, the more I liked it. So it's a bit of a grower. And we all covered as well a ZX Spectrum homebrew. So we cover about 6 games every week, so it's quite prolific, this channel, so hopefully you're getting your money's worth there. If you want to become a member to help it continue, please consider doing so. You can click on the members join button, tell you a bit about what it's about. It doesn't commit you straight away, and then make your mind up then. But all the videos, apart from the ones in the members section, will always be free to watch, so don't worry yourself there. I'm just glad that you click on the videos and subscribe, so thank you very much. Membership is a bonus. If you can do that, don't make yourself skint or anything, but it'll help me massively to try and get this full time. So what was I talking about? Yes, that homebrew game, Renegade Recoloured. You all know the original Renegade, but Rafael Miazga has coloured the thing in with additional colour. I liked it. Some people might think it's a little bit garish, but I thought it added a bit extra to what was already a classic game. And then we finished as well on the Nintendo 64 classic racer called Ridge Race 64. Played a few versions of this. My favourite is Ridge Racer Type 4 on the PlayStation 1. But it's true to be said, I didn't quite get the knack of it during the gameplay, which you'll see, but we had a laugh anyway. It's not all about good gameplay, but if you're good at drifting, you'll get more out of this game than myself. I'm not really a drifter. I struggled with it on a ZX Spectrum game also called Drift, I think. But yeah, probably easier with a steering wheel, with the controller. Didn't quite get the hang of it, but still had a lot of fun nonetheless. What's my favourite game out of all that lot? Well, I'd have to say Virtua Racing and Panzer Kickboxing. They've like tied for first place, but there's a few good ones there. I like the Ridge Racer 64 for the graphics, although I wasn't very good at it. But yeah, but Panzer Kickboxing and Virtua Racing. What's your favourite game? Comment in the comment section below what you liked the most. Now, on a few of these chats, hopefully soon, I keep saying this, hopefully soon, and well, we'll see how this, with my time and how this camera's holding up, because the viewfinder's a little bit broken. We're going to do an outside walk again. If you've been viewing the channel for quite some time, you might remember those walks that we went on. They was quite good fun. Took a bit of editing, but they was fun to do. Pretty much I'm saying the sort of stuff I'm saying now, but we're walking about with different backgrounds that keeps things interesting. Occasionally the Terminator or the Predator or someone might turn up, or on a particularly spectacular day, a red plastic rubbish bag full of rubbish. What else would a rubbish bag be full of? We went through the woods and all that sort of stuff. It was quite good fun. Wind on the camera, so sometimes you couldn't hear me properly. That's all of the fun, being outside and rambling. So rambling when rambling. So hopefully I can get that back up and running soon, whether next week, the week after, but soon. Now, I've been talking about it, as I say, a few other weeks about the Mars helicopter. If you didn't know, there's a helicopter called Ingenuity, a little tiny thing on the planet Mars that we sent there on the back of a rover called Perseverance. It did 3 test flights, and on the 4th one it didn't power on. So we thought, oh god, is this thing now damaged? But apparently it didn't go into the right flight mode, and they're going to have another go at it on a full flight to go a bit further. But it's absolutely incredible what they're doing. I don't know how much more life they're going to get out of this tiny little helicopter, but it's absolutely amazing. It's a pre-instructed thing, so no one's got a remote control from Earth flying it around, because the feedback would be way too long. I think the first flight it just hovered about 3 feet in the air. Second time it went a bit higher, went 500 meters, I think, or 50 meters left and right, and this. And it's going slightly further each time. Fourth one didn't turn on, but I'm really interested to see what's the most elaborate test path they're going to do it on before the thing blows up or it gets caught by a dust storm or something like that. But really, really impressive. The first flight's from a human vehicle on an alien planet. So, you know, great stuff. I talk to people about this sometimes and they're not the least bit interested. They just say Mars is a load of rocks. It's a different world. It's our nearest neighbour, if you don't count the moon, and that's what we're going to in theory, colonise first, before, in thousands of years' time, or maybe 1,000 years' time, we've colonised the whole of our solar system, and then another 10,000 years we colonise the whole of the galaxy, if we're not wiped out by something stupid. Anyway, so I thought that's interesting. It's right at the start, isn't it, really? So we're pretty much in the one world age, they'll call it, a bit like how we look at the Stone Age now. You know, that age where man was just on one planet. They were really basic back then, and they did these logs with broken cameras. What wallies they were. Okay, yeah. This Sunday, of course, I'm into the Grand Prix racing. It's the Portuguese Grand Prix. It's been hard to get people into Formula 1 in the last few years because it's a tough sell, so people didn't know much about the racing. It's been absolutely boring and predictable. Mercedes winning all the time. Hamilton. It's the Portuguese Grand Prix next Sunday. At the moment, Hamilton is really closely matched with Verstappen's Red Bull. I hope that continues because then the championship's going to go all the way and we won't know who's going to win. If Sergio Perez can step up in the other Red Bull and get involved as well, it's going to be absolutely awesome in terms of the Constructors' Championship as well and the Drivers' Championship. So fingers crossed it goes close to the wire and no single driver dominates it. I'll probably be at work when the race is going on and qualifying, but I might catch the back end of it. Great stuff. So I mentioned it briefly. Thank you to the members on the channel who are really keeping this thing going. Sometimes I flow a bit close to the wire with my finances and what I need to keep things going, but I hope it shows. I put as much effort in as I possibly can. I do get the occasional energy crash like anyone would who's doing stupid hours constantly forever, but don't worry yourself. I have things planned, I have rest points in planned, and I'm thanking you for your support because that lifts me as well. So if you want to click on the join button, all tiers are welcome, but if you're on the second tier and above, you can get a shout out your name or anything that you want me to cover, any links, any websites there you're doing, any games, or anything outside as well. If you want me to keep shouting you out then let me know via Twitter or the members section. Otherwise, I don't know whether to keep shouting it out, essentially. So here we go. So thank you to second tier members and above. Thanks again. Thank you. You really are amazing the way you continue to support me. You know, thank you. I'm touched. So, Nick, get it together, you Wally. Thank you. Thanks to Jason Smith, Squidworth, Stu Who, thank you. Nikki S, excellent. Claire Johnson, thank you. Hope you're doing well. James O'Grady, I speak to quite regularly on Twitter, as I do to all of you, really. John Roby and Jeffrey Searby, thank you guys. Steve Norman, and now with Steve Norman, I always have a look at his blog each week because it's really well written what he's up to, and he picks some great games out there to have a look at. This week is no different, so it's retroarcadia.blog, so retroarcadia.blog. And he's taken a look, he's reviewed a game, or taken a look at a game that I really enjoyed on the Mega Drive, Kawasaki Superbikes. This game is really fast. If you're familiar with the game Vroom on the Commodore Amiga, it uses a very similar engine to that, and it's by the same people. Formula 1 World Championship Edition was also on that same engine. I think that was the direct conversion of Vroom on the Mega Drive. But this time you're on bikes. It's a really good game. Have a look to see what Steve's insights on that are. Maybe have a go of the game yourself to see what you think. I've also reviewed it if you want to check that one out as well. well. Just repeating Steve's blog there, it's retroarcadia.blog. He's building up a bit of an archive. Last week he looked at the arcade game 1942, which also got converted to the Spectrum, and he's looked at Shaolin's Road previously as well. So have a read of a few of those blogs there if you want a nice interesting read. So thank you as well to Lemmy Barnett, thank you. Massive thanks to Steve Q. Thank you for your words of support, Steve, and the huge help that you've provided as well, because that's made a massive difference to me. So thank you, Steve. Really appreciated. Thank you. Thanks also to Phil Hill. Rossi Bossy. Now we all know Ross is a very busy man. Work is still going on for Super Pixel 3D Racer, so get a note in your diaries there. It's going to come out at some point, but you know, everyone has to work, so see where that's going. But there's some side projects as well you might want to be interested in, which you can play immediately. He's made Enduro, so check out, I'll put his website up there probably where I've been yibber-yabbering, so go on that site and have a look at Enduro, which you can download, and which uses some of the same sound effects and voices from the game Super Pixel 3D Racer, which is just as it's through development, that game. I'm a little bit biased because I do the voice work for it, but have a look at it yourself on Ross's Twitter feed, or look at my Twitter feed when I retweet stuff by him. Every upgrade he does on that game is making it look absolutely sensational. Just when I think it can't get any better, he finds something else to do. Bear in mind, this is one person working on their own. Well, with help of other people, but 99% him. And you know, every upgrade he does makes it even better than before. So check out his site. And regarding Re-Enduro, it's based on the Atari 2600 game. He's already working on a sequel to that one. So yeah, keep 'em peeled, keep 'em peeled. Well done, Ross. And well done to Steve Norman and his blog as well. Thank you very much as well to Chono Baggy. Thank you, keeping my spirits up. Really appreciated there with your cool comments on videos. Jason Holm, Andrew Gibson and Grey Holt too. So thank you everyone. Really appreciated there on the second tier. And massive thanks to everyone on the upper tier, which we've got an extra person this time. So thank you very much for your generosity. Colin Hode, thank you, Colin, for upgrading your membership. That you know, that really helps me. As I always say, we get a lot of people on this one. If they can afford it, of course, they won't miss it. You know, suddenly my dream comes a reality of doing stuff, well, more stuff than we can, and improving stuff. And there we go. So thank you to Colin Hode as there. Martin Rymel, thank you, Martin. Really appreciated there. If you want me to keep shouting out that car game every week, and definitely let me know. I didn't know whether it was just a one-off, although I did shout it last week. Heroic Echoic, Heroic Echoic. Then let me know, and I should keep doing it. Heroic Echoic. Yeah, there we go. So it's a card game, folks, on Amazon. So I did a partial shout there. Thank you massively to Richard Mitten. I know I see a bit more of you now because the live streams are a bit later, which helps you a bit more, and it's really good to see you and things you have to say also. Fantastic. Thank you, Richard. Tom. Graham Vebke, thank you, Graham. I think the later times suit you as well. And also massive thanks to Jules M. Thank you, Jules. The big caps you do as well. And also, I've got something to shout out for your website, which I've got on the Twitter thing here. See Twitter. Come on, load. One of these days, I'll get to this point and it won't load. Right. Get your ears around this, everyone, or your eyes around it. So, Julie's site is the same as last week. schoolreading70sbooks.weebly.com/blog. So that's schoolsreadings70sbooks.weebly.com /blog. Sorry, I thought something disconnected then and I weren't recording. That would have been lovely if I That's happened once before, but not this time. Okay, so this week Jules has been looking at Rupert the Bear books, the Mash Toys Implement of Torture, The Little Professor, and Brook Bond tea cards. Oh, I like those, and particularly the dinosaur ones. I remember those. You got them in like packs of tea, like the cards, and you collected them. I think I remember having like miniature pictures of cars, but this dinosaur didn't have the dinosaurs ones. That's interesting there. So take a look at that blog as well. There we go. Have a look at the whole site really. I think there's a message thing as well. You can comment on the blog and Julia will answer that. If she can do, she's always after information. You recognise stuff that she needs more information on as well. So thank you everyone for watching the videos. As we all know, it's all about beating stress. Doesn't take itself too seriously. The gameplay is marginal. sometimes awful, and occasionally fantastic. On the live stream, I won on 180, so that was good. So it's good. It's good when it happens. There'll be a couple of ZX Spectrum videos on the channel on Saturday, as they always are. Members who've got access to the members section will already know what they are going to be, and there'll be a couple of videos on Sunday as well, and the members vid letting you know what the videos are going to be in the following week. Always got some great stuff up planned for you. So have a good Friday, have a good weekend, take good care of yourself, and till next time, a very fond, I do mean this, a very fond, I always mean it, a very fond goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, E.
And Jenkin.